Hi, welcome to the Alford method. My name is Will Alford and I'm a licensed customs broker. This means that I'm able to transact business with Customs and Border Protection on behalf of companies, individuals, and myself. The Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection now require licensed customs brokers to obtain 36 credit hours of continuing education every 3 years. My business idea is to provide the required trainings to companies and individuals either in person or via teleconference. Now, this will start out with 1 hour video trainings. This is a niche market. There are approximately 16,000 active customs brokers operating in the United States today. Now, this is a unique opportunity for three reasons. One, it's a new requirement, so the market is not flooded with companies offering these services. Two, new requirements mean confusion. It's a prime time to solve people's problems before they become a problem. And three, time. This goes into effect technically in 2024, but will not be officially required until 2027, which allows me the time to properly set up the company, get customers, understand needs, and be up and running by the time they go into effect. Now, interestingly enough, I was able to find a more straightforward opportunity throughout my time in this course. So this is my pivot plan, where companies who offer this training will have to be accredited through the CBP. But CBP is actually looking to the licensed customs broker community for organizations that will credit these companies and each of their trainings. The Alford method will review these 1 hour trainings from companies and will approve or deny their accreditation on behalf of the US government. All right, for lessons learned. So I found actually that practicing the 2 minute pitch helped me to define the company and simplify the message and maybe take a introspective look at what it is I want for the company, the realistic expectations I should set for myself, and how to also plan for the future. Strangely enough, but I think that the 2 minute pitch was one of the most important things I actually learned from this class. Uh, the next, talking to customers leads to new opportunities, which kind of ties into my next point of prepare to pivot. Pivoting can be smarter than sticking with the original plan. So, when I was talking to customers, other licensed customs brokers mainly throughout this course, finding out what they were trying to do for their license, what their continuing education credits, things like that. I got some good ideas from them, but then I also was doing more research with the government, seeing if there are any, notifications that they sent out to the community, and I did actually find that's how I found my pivot plan. Actually, is that I was looking up about all the trainings, how I can do it, like what's to be expected, but then I found that they were looking for companies to actually credit on their behalf. So I found that this uh, being the person accrediting these companies in their trainings rather than being the company developing these trainings is a more straightforward plan. It's more streamlined for my company, which is an easier way for me to make profit actually. So I think it's kind of a win-win if you can do less and earn more. So I'm really hoping that plan works. But if not, then I'll stick with the original plan there of being an actual trainer. Just for full disclosure with everyone who hasn't seen my videos before, that I did apply to with the government, submit a request to be one of the accreditors. I'm waiting to hear back on official word on that. But yeah. Also, I've learned in this class that a product or service is only good if customers want it. So you have to be willing to swallow your pride and make the necessary changes to your product or service that you have. I know the book All In Startup was following Owen Chase and his bicycle business that he had, and he just knew it was the best thing what he developed, but customers didn't want it, and his price point was wrong, things like that. So I think that's an important lesson for us all that hey, you might have the best idea ever, but if nobody wants it, then it's not that great. Um, yeah. And then I think one of the biggest lessons from all of this is find a migraine problem for your customers. So for me, as a licensed custom broker, if you ask any licensed custom broker, really, you'll find that in order to become one, you have to take this test. It's notoriously difficult. The pass rate is typically in the single digits. Sometimes it's in the low to mid teens, but it's never higher than that. So if you ask any licensed customs broker, do you want to take the test again? They say no, definitely not. And so if they don't take these continuing education requirements, then their license gets suspended. And they have to retake the test to become a licensed customs broker. And so that right there is a migraine problem, which makes me excited about this opportunity for the Alford method. All right, so I also learned throughout this course that successful startups are modeled differently than established companies. After taking the course, it seems so obvious to me now, but prior to the course, I probably would have gone with the conventional thinking of, like, develop your product service, push it out. Um, but now I know you need to talk to customers first, see if this is something they want, iterate on paper really before you start spending all your money and time on, and resources too, on something that won't be successful. So that's definitely been a big win for me. Minimally viable products are okay, and in fact, it's the best way to go. If your product or service gives most customers the basic need that they want, then that's great. And some of your more sophisticated customers will want, add-ons, which is another way to get more revenue stream. And then as you develop further, more and more products on the road, then you can start adding these different things into them. Also, the Udacity videos brought this up, but be cautious when working with larger companies. Doing a partnership is great. Getting extra business is always great, but sometimes they're trying to make you exclusive to them, and it's more of a benefit for them than it is for you because it limits your opportunities to grow your company, and they're essentially trying to buy you out without paying you the full price of your company. So I definitely appreciate that advice. Also, don't expect big returns in the first few years, and that the first year will be higher than years 2, 3, 4, and typically. So I know for me, it's a new market that I'm working in, since this isn't something that exists currently, and so it's going to be like the hockey stick type of growth. And for me, it matters because if you have investors, especially, or business partners, everyone needs to know what the revenue model is going to look like and what the what type of profits to expect. So when you dip down for years 2, 3, and 4, you don't want everyone to bail out. Everyone needs to know what to expect. So I think the communication there is very important, and understanding that yourself is the first step. And then also, the business model canvas is a living document that constantly changes. So this one actually surprised me. So I'm just gonna I go through this real quickly, just to show the different iterations that I've gone through. But when I started this course, I thought, hey, my business model canvas isn't going to change very much. I know exactly what I want to do and how it's going to get there. But I found that each week when I was looking at this and putting it together, that hey, this assumption that I had last week is just completely off. I need to remove it, or hey, let me highlight these things on a thing report, and the next week they wouldn't be highlighting more. You can see I'm scribbling through something like, hey, that's no longer there. Here's my pivot plan. But now, on the final version, I think it's very clean and includes only the information that I really need to have on there. So that to me was a surprise, but it's been a great exercise, and it's evaluating my company each week. Excuse me. All right, closing thoughts. I really enjoyed this class and learned a lot about the realities that an entrepreneur must face. And knowing these ahead of time, I think is a huge advantage for us because in order for your business to be successful, you have to be truthful with yourself because the customer sure will be. So you might as well be truthful with yourself. So just through the videos, through the readings, it's just been really great to know these things ahead of time. Also, I appreciated working with other students throughout the semester and seeing their progress each week. It was interesting to me because though their businesses were different than mine, I was still able to, take the lessons they learned and apply them to my business as well. And then on that note, I just do want to say thank you to Christina, Grant, and Kaylin of Group One for all of your input. You asked some tough questions. You gave some great feedback, which helped me understand when I'm going the right direction or when I need to stop and think. So it's just like having a group of great advisors in the room with me as I build my business. So thank you all for that. And to everyone else, I'm really looking forward to seeing your projects and understanding your businesses better. And I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you so much.